Am I the a-hole stories? Am I the a-hole for telling my mom we haven't had a good relationship in a long time and I wanted to go live with my dad? I, 16 female, used to have a good relationship with my mother. That has since crashed and burned since she dated and married my stepdad Gary 6 years ago. Gary treats his son Ian, 19 male, like he's the center of the universe and expects my mother to as well, so she does. Anything Ian wants, Ian gets, and that usually comes at the expense of me. Ian wanted my room when they moved it. I was forced to go to another room to make the transition easier for everyone. Ian wanted a car for his 16th birthday. I didn't get braces for another year. Ian wanted to go on an expensive trip for spring break. I had to give up volleyball to make it happen. Ian wanted to have his side of the family over. I was expected to find somewhere else to be, since I wasn't family. My mother just went along with all of this and acted like it shouldn't affect me at all. My dad was overseas for a long time, and we used to FaceTime, and he was so upset by what he was hearing. He's home now and he's offering to have me come live with him. I'm not seeing a reason not to go, and so I told my mom I wanted to go live with my dad. She predictably freaked out, and asked why I'd want to do that and said that we had such a good relationship. She didn't understand how this came so out of the blue. I told her that we haven't had a good relationship since she blindly decided to follow Gary's lead and give Ian anything he wanted, and it always came at my expense. My mom tried to argue, so I said I also wanted to leave because she let them kick me out of my own house because I wasn't family, so I was going to go live with someone who was. My mom started crying and said she wouldn't let me go, so I told her that my dad was willing to go to court over it, and I was old enough to be able to say where I wanted to be. She's been a crying mess since I told her, and Gary is being a jackhay about how awful I'm being. Here's where I might be the a-hole. He was witching at me about how terribly I'm treating them, and how I'm not thinking about them at all. I asked why should I. He never thought of me when he was taking things from me to give to his kid. I said let's face facts here, you don't care about me, what you care about is losing the child support you spend on your son. He sort of went slack-jawed and I walked off. My dad said my mom called and threatened to take him to court, so he said he'd see her there. Now she's panicking because she realized he is planning on taking her to court over this. Mom and Gary of course think I'm the a-hole for making things hard for everyone, but my dad and grandparents say to leave and never look back. Am I the a-hole for wanting to get away from this situation? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said he was worried about losing your child support. I hope your mother has a job, because she is going to have to pay child support to your dad. Exactly. The expensive vacation, his car, and God knows what else for Ian, was likely taken out of the child support for her. That's her money. Gary is big mad because his free money is being taken away. OP, let them stay mad. Take care of yourself, and let your dad take care of you too. Nothing that's happening is your fault. Be well and best of luck. Not the a-hole. You have been punished for her inability to stand up to her husband for far too long. I hope that life with your dad is amazing, and he treats you how you deserve to be treated. She let him force her to stop treating you as family. You owe them nothing. At all. From OP's account, it sounds like you're giving the mother too much credit, doesn't even sound like she had the desire to stand up. Not the a-hole, but you are a badass. Props to you for telling Gary like it is, and I hope you get the love and treatment you deserve at your dad's. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for arguing with my fiancée, after she emptied my son's room? Me, 35 male, and my ex-wife, 32 female, were married for 15 years. We had a son, 11. We both had a responsibility to prioritize our son. She got sick and passed away. The reason we got divorced is not related to her health issue. She was suffering from a chronic heart condition since she was a teenager. I did all I could to help her get better. Her parents are the most generous people I've known and they were like my parents. Me and my fiancée have been together for 2.5 years. She treats my son well, although she'd get annoyed when my son calls her with her first name. She complains that it's time for him to call her mom, but my son didn't want that. I made it clear that my son already has a mother, and she needed to respect that. She'd buy him new clothes/toys and artwork, which is great. But she complains that my son won't get rid of old things he has. I told her that those old things are his memories with his mother, and made it clear that those things are all he has of his mother. They're a treasure, and that she shouldn't comment on that. She understood and told me to not get her wrong. Lately, she's been showing me room designs. Said she wanted to redecorate my son's room and give it a fresh look as a birthday gift. Personally, I thought that was nice of her, but I already talked to my son and asked him what he wanted, and he said that his room is where he gets to remember his mom the most. I understand, because his mom was the one who decorated his room. Picked his blankets, organized his toys, and hanged pictures. He asked me to hang pictures of her in his room and he helped me do that. I told my fiancée that my son likes his room as it is, so we should leave it. She threw a fit, saying I don't have to take his opinion on everything because he's a kid. I said I just make sure he's comfortable and nothing else matters. His birthday is this week. Last night, my son and I came back from visiting his grandparents. I was surprised to see his room empty. My fiancée packed his stuff and moved them out. She told me she was preparing the room for the new decoration. I was stunned. She said she wanted to get it done fast and moved unnecessary stuff into the basement. I lashed out and said she shouldn't have done that. That she needed to return everything. She got defensive, saying she already spent $2,000 on the new decoration, and that my son will like it and get used to it. I got so mad and my son was crying wanting his old room, and that's when I started returning the stuff myself. She got into an argument with me, calling me unreasonable, and that she already paid money and made the arrangement. I told her that was on her, and as long as my son isn't happy, then it's not worth it. She told me to stop, but I refused. She went to her mom's house and told her. Her mom said I was harsh on her, and she was just trying to do something nice for my son. Well, his things were thrown around, which was awful, and I told her my fiancé was wrong to purchase the new decoration when I told her no. Now she won't even talk, saying I was being unfair. Now for the top comments. There's no way on earth you could be the a-hole here. I get that your fiancé may feel out of place when the subject of your son's mother comes up, but she should not act on those emotions in this way. All it's doing is alienating her from your son. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. I'm going to be very honest with you. My uncle's fiancé was like this. Wanted the kids to call her mom, would badmouth their real mom to them, would touch their stuff without asking, remove the locks from their doors, would throw them surprise parties, and then get mad at the kids for not wanting the party in the first place. Anyways, the kids hated her. The closer she got to my uncle, the further away his kids got from him. They resented him for it and it nearly destroyed their relationship. I don't know what opened his eyes, but they finally broke up and he was finally able to regain his kids' love and respect back. Anyways, it sounds like she thinks of her own needs before your son. I would be very worried because one day she might make you choose, and I don't know how comfortable your son will be with your relationship now. Not the a-hole. How many times have you had the same conversation with your fiancé? And how many times has she not listened? I don't know if she's trying to replace your son's mother or what, but she is damaging both her relationship with your son, and with you. I'd honestly reconsider marrying her. She just doesn't get it. You know what's nice? Listening to people and respecting their wishes, not redecorating a room that they've already told you they don't want redecorated. Not the a-hole. Your, hopefully soon to be ex-fiancé, doesn't have the right to force your son to call her mom. She doesn't have the right to get rid of his things or redecorate his room. She is way overstepping here. She's probably one of those people who dates/marries someone with children, but is jealous of/threatened by their deceased spouse, so she tries to erase their presence from the house. Your job as a dad is to protect your kid, especially from anyone you date or marry in the future. Please be with someone who will respect your son and the memory of your ex-wife. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for wanting to go to college, even though my siblings need me? Hey, I'll get straight to it. I, 17 female, am the oldest of 9, 15 male, 13 male, 13 female, 12 male, 10 female, 7 male, 5 female, and 2 male. My mother is a single mother who works hard to supply for us, but relies mostly off child support, as most of my siblings and I have different fathers. Though I'm only a half-sister to most of my siblings, I still love them all very much, and try my very best to treat them as equal. I got a job at 14 to help make extra cash, and my days normally consist of getting up early to help get all the kiddos to school, or getting online for virtual school, and then going to my classes of the day. I'm a junior in high school, before going to work right when school ends, and getting home a little before midnight. During the day while I'm in class, I'm still watching my 2-year-old brother, and making sure all the other kids are still in class/paying attention. My mom works at a small restaurant nearby from around 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., but when she's home, Mostly just sleeps because she's tired from her long shifts. Now for the actual "Am I the a-hole?" Recently, I've been looking at and getting ready to apply to colleges but haven't told my mother. She went through my laptop the other day, and found out that I was looking up financial aid, and looking at some state schools a bit farther away, 600 to 700 miles, and got really upset. She started crying, saying she couldn't afford to send me to school, and that she couldn't continue to care for my siblings without me. I felt really bad and apologized, and we just sort of dropped it, but I didn't plan on stopping my search. I mentioned the other day I was really interested in a nearby state school, one state over, that offered my major, and was cheaper than in-state tuition at my state school. I was super excited and told my mom. She completely blew up at me. She kept telling me how selfish I was to abandon our family, and that if I leave, I'd be setting my family up to fail. She started yelling and crying, and soon, my siblings got upset and also started crying too. It was a mess that left me really conflicted. On one hand, I don't want to be selfish and prioritize my future over my siblings, but on the other hand, I'm just exhausted. I'm so tired on running on 4 hours of sleep, and then just spending all day either working, babysitting, or doing school. I understand that's how life is and that it's just hard and I have to learn to deal, but at the same time, it all feels so frustrating. I see all these other kids my age going out and having fun and doing teen things, and it makes me sad that I have to miss that. But I know it's my responsibility to take care of my siblings. I'm at a loss and at this point, just need to know if I'd really be an a-hole if I decided to go to college. I'd still send money home as often as possible, and I'd get financial aid and take out a loan to spend as little money as possible, but I feel terrible for wanting to be selfish and leave my family. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. At all. Your siblings are not your responsibility, they are your mother's. She needs to stop relying on you. She works 8 hours a day. That's pretty normal. She shouldn't spend the rest of the time sleeping. She needs to be a parent. She chose to have all these kids and she needs to take care of them. Parentification is abuse. You have every right to live your own life. Go to college. You need to think of your own future and how you will support yourself. I came here to say this. 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. is not a long shift, it's 7.5 hours after a lunch break. It's very unfair for mom to put this burden on you. Look at it this way, if you get a degree, you'll have a more financially secure future, and might be able to help out your siblings when they are ready for college, like with a place to stay, etc. I literally did 3 to 4 8-hour shifts with full-time school. The mom isn't even taking care of the kids when she's home, so why exactly is she tired? And if she does get tired easily, why exactly does she keep on popping kids out? Shouldn't have had kids after the 10-year-old. It sucks for mom, but it sounds like she is perpetually dumped after getting pregnant. I don't care how many dads there are, if she can't take care of her kids, she needs to stop having sex since she obviously doesn't care about using protection. 9 kids, is pretty damn intentional. She could also stop getting pregnant with some dude she can't have been with for more than 2 years each time. Run. Not the a-hole. OP is being abused by her mom. Selfish is not using protection and having 9 kids you can't raise. Not getting an education. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for saying I am not surprised my sister is single/has trouble finding a good man? Don't get me wrong, her list of must-haves in a partner aren't all outrageous or anything, they are. Must have a good stable job, no kids, a degree, no D's, not alcoholic, can pull his own weight financially speaking in the relationship, either owns, or is working towards owning a house. Not unusual stuff. The thing is, she cannot bring very many of those to the table herself. She has a degree in Greek literature, and isn't an alcoholic. She has 3 kids, which is why her demand for a man without kids strikes me as a what the hell. Lives with mom. Working as the front desk lady, while working on a book. Loves grass brownies. She does not have a min/max age requirement, she is 32. I don't think it matters, but I have a feeling someone would ask if I didn't mention it. Now, it's not like I said it to her face, I was talking to mom on the phone. I guess sis has been getting more and more upset about dating prospects, and doesn't understand why it's so hard. Never mind the pandemic going on making it harder for everyone single to date right now. Mom was going on about how mom, doesn't understand how such a good gal like my sister, is still single and having these problems. Even you have a boyfriend, and you're even more of a shut-in than I am. That rubbed me the wrong way, and frankly, I was sick of mom spending almost every call with me talking about my big sister, instead of acting like she cares about what's going on in my life. So I laid it out. I told mom that sis being single didn't surprise me a single bit. She has demands that seem reasonable, but cannot meet many of them herself. Why would she expect someone that meets her list to choose her, when she can't meet her own standards? Over someone that they are more of a lifestyle match with. I used spicier language than that, but that's basically it. A few hours later, I got a text from my sister saying, "Thanks for being honest about how you really feel, C-word. Haven't heard from either of them since, and I'm not sure where to go from here." Now for the top comments. Probably everyone sucks here. You conveniently left out your spicier language. This sounds like typical family bickering, competition, and infighting, and the fact that your mother is involved the way she is, even you have a boyfriend, indicates that all members of your family might suck. You're entitled to defend yourself, but don't try and whitewash your role in the situation. But it was her mother who called her a shut-in, not the sister in question. It was uncalled for. Everyone sucks here. I don't think her standards are actually unreasonable. If I had 3 kids, I'd probably prefer to find a man without children so my kids could avoid step-siblings. I also would definitely not ever want more than 3 kids in one household. Your mom sucks for ratting on you. I assume that's how your sister heard. Also, front desk lady, at least respect people with their job title. Prefer what you want. She shouldn't be shocked her kids are baggage someone without kids would want to avoid. Obviously, the majority of people without kids will prefer those without kids. Not the a-hole. Your mom is the a-hole for drama mongering. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day everyone.